You are not needed at this funeral. You aren't related to us, just leave your condolence money and go home.
My mother-in-law tried to kick me out of my father-in-law's funeral, saying it. How hard does she think I've worked to take care of my father-in-law? He treated me as family, and also I have cared for him as if he were my own father.
You're right. Get lost, stranger.
Sorry? I couldn't believe my ears. Even my husband treated me like an obstacle. All right. I said it and was about to leave. But he had more to say.
What I mean by stranger is you, Mom.
My name is Maya, a 34-year-old housewife. My husband Kent and I have been married for 3 years. We met at work and started dating after charming each other while working together. Then we continued to date smoothly and he proposed to me after 1.5 years of dating.
I want to be with Maya forever. So please marry me.
Yes. I hope you're by my side forever. After that, we soon visited both our families and had both families meet each other. Then we had a wedding and went on a honeymoon, and we started living together. When we first got married, I was still working as a company employee, so we shared the housework while working together. Since my husband had lived alone for a long time, he could cook and clean without any problems. So we were able to live our daily lives without any burden on either of us, helping each other. On our day off, we went on dates or just relaxed and watched movies at home, and our new married life was very enjoyable. Our happy new marriage went so fast, and before I knew it, 3 years had passed since we got married. My husband is still kind and cares about me even after 3 years of marriage. I'm glad that he isn't the type of person who never feeds a landed fish. I thought we would have a happy life together. However, circumstances can change so quickly. It all started when my father-in-law got sick. He was diagnosed with cancer, and it seems to be quite advanced.
He's been running a business for so long, so he didn't want to worry anyone, and didn't go to the hospital even when he wasn't feeling well.
Is that right?
He always pushes himself like that, so it's really worrying for us as a family.
So, can he still be treated?
No, the only thing left is how to prolong his life, and the doctor said he won't live much longer.
Oh no. I was so shocked. He was really kind and treated me very well. I couldn't believe that my father-in-law, such a kind-hearted man, had cancer. But there was more to come. He was no longer able to work and has become in need of care. My husband said he wanted to live with his parents and help with the care.
It would be a pity to leave everything to my mother alone, and it's also a big burden for her, so I want to live with them. But living together is not something I can decide on my own. So I want to know how you feel about it, Maya.
I thought about it for a little while after he talked to me. Certainly, living together is a concern. But more than that, I wanted to do something for my father-in-law, and I wanted to have his wish granted. I at least want them to spend their time together at his final moment. He also took good care of me. So I agreed to live with him. I'm for it.
Are you really sure?
We should value the time we spend with your father.
Thank you, Maya.
My husband immediately contacted his parents, and then we moved to his parents' house and started living together.
I'm sorry about it, just because I got sick.
No, don't give it another thought. We are a family and we have to support each other.
Thank you.
He was much weaker than I had imagined because the disease is already spreading quite a lot. It was about 3 months since I last saw him, but he looked quite different from then. I couldn't believe it when I was told he had cancer, but when I saw how he looks now, I realized that he was really ill and it was so painful. Then we started living together, and when we actually started living together, I realized that the fact that my husband and I were both working brought my mother-in-law a lot more stress. However, my husband couldn't quit his job because he had to take over his father's company. So I decided to quit my job and become a housewife.
I'm really sorry. I had to make you quit your job that you love so much, Maya.
It's okay. I can work anytime I want, but it's the only time I can spend with your father. So I decided to choose family over work.
Thank you, Maya. Of course I'm willing to take care of him at night on weeknights and during the weekend. So let's help each other as a family from now on.
Yeah, let's do that. That's how I started my days as a housewife. There were no problems at the beginning. I carried on doing housework and assisting my father-in-laws with my mother-in-law, helping each other. My day started early in the morning by making my husband's lunch and breakfast for everyone. Even when I was a company employee, I always had breakfast for my health, and I prepared lunch every day to save money, so it wasn't particularly hard for me. However, cleaning was difficult because his parents' house was quite large. It took twice as much time and effort to clean the room where my husband and I lived. Still, I tried my best to get used to it. However, about 3 months after we started living together, I had another worry. It was about my mother-in-law. At first, my mother-in-law treated me normally. But gradually, she began to show her true colors and started treating me badly.
Are you bad at housework, Maya?
What do you mean?
You're slow at cleaning, you're a bad cook, and you can't do anything right.
I'm sorry. I was shocked when she said that to me out of the blue. I probably clean a little slowly. But it's a big house, so I guess that's to be expected. Also, I was surprised that my cooking was bad because my husband always said it was delicious. However, when I asked her specifically what was wrong with it, all she said was that it tasted bad. Only my mother-in-law said it was bad, and my father-in-law always thanked me for the delicious food I made during the care. In fact, when she cleans, she does it slower than I do. My father-in-law and my husband both said that her cooking wasn't very good. I heard that she hasn't cooked much since she was young, and often bought prepared foods from the department store basement where a lot of pre-made meals are sold. So he said he was happy to be able to eat homemade food like this every day. Maybe she doesn't like the fact that I cook well like that. I don't want her to be jealous like that. I was worried about how to deal with my mother-in-law. I tried to praise her as much as possible and communicate well with her. But my mother-in-law, who has a high self-esteem, didn't seem to be pleased by my compliments. Rather, she became more harsh to me.
You're really useless, aren't you? You're even a full-time housewife and fed. That's so wrong to be like that as a daughter-in-law. Kent has been caught by a terrible woman.
She constantly abused me like this while we were together during the day, so it was quite mentally tough. It was so bad that one day I talked to my husband about it.
Is Mom bullying you?
Yes. She says terrible things to me every day.
I'm sorry. I didn't notice that at all. I'll give her a few words.
He supported me and made time to talk to her and pointed out lots of things. However, her attitude didn't change at all. In fact, it got worse.
Don't talk to him about things like I'm bullying my daughter-in-law. That's how you are trying to brainwash him and make him against me.
No, that's not true. Just because you use harsh words.
Humph. Just because I was a little strict on you, you're trying to make me look like a bad person. I have to educate you more.
She said that and started abusing me ever since. I began to hate her more and more. Then she started to force me to do all the housework and care. Well, where are you off to, Mom?
I'm having lunch with an important friend.
Well, isn't Dad's appointment today? Don't you want to go and ask for the results of the examination?
You can ask about that. Let me have a break for a little.
That's not fair. She went out saying that. She says she needs a break. But she's been going out every day recently. It's no longer a break. It takes a toll on me. I ended up doing all the housework. I didn't mind taking care of my father-in-law. I thought it would be better for me to do it than for her to do it carelessly. Even so, however, I sometimes feel that it is a burden for me to do everything on my own.
Sorry, Maya. My wife goes out like that, so you're taking up all the burden.
You shouldn't worry about it as it's not your fault.
Still.
It doesn't bother me.
Thank you.
I was happy that he cares about me like that. My husband was busy taking over or learning new jobs and was always tired. So I felt sorry for him to talk about her anymore. I just have to get used to this life. I tried to think of it in this way. But then something unexpected happened. My father-in-law got worse and was taken to the hospital. My husband and I hurried to the hospital. We waited anxiously for his treatment to end. You haven't been able to get hold of your mom?
No. She is out only for a drink. What the heck is she doing at a time like this?
She apparently doesn't answer the phone at all, and when he does drop her a line message, it doesn't get read. Even though it's an emergency for the partner she has been with for a long time. What is she really doing? Then, although the treatment itself was successful, my father-in-law ended up being hospitalized. I went home once, packed up everything he needed for hospitalization and went back to the hospital. We spent the rest of the day waiting for him to come awake. He was stable and seemed to be asleep. So we decided to go home and take a nap. Then my mother-in-law was already in the bedroom and sleeping. My husband and I were disgusted. We had sent her so many messages and made so many phone calls. How could she sleep at home without replying? The next morning, my husband was angry with her.
What were you doing at a time when Dad might die?
I was too drunk to reply or anything, but he isn't dead, is he?
We are gonna see him now.
That's good then.
Get ready quickly, Mom.
I'm not going out today.
Why not?
Because I'm feeling sick from a hangover. I can't see him like that, can I?
You can still go and visit him, even if you're hungover?
No, I'm too old for that.
She said that and stubbornly refused to go out. My husband and I went to visit my father-in-law without saying anything more. After that, I spent every day going to visit him with my husband. But after about 2 weeks of hospitalization, he got worse and passed away. My husband and I were both extremely sad that our beloved dad passed away. I wanted to talk to him a lot more. By the way, my mother-in-law didn't come to visit him even once during these 2 weeks. So she couldn't be there for his last moments. I really feel sorry for my father-in-law, being treated like this by her, his partner. So I'm glad my husband and I were able to be there for his last moments. Of course, my mother-in-law didn't organize the funeral at all. So my husband and I arranged and prepared for the funeral. We put up with the grief of losing him and contacted many people, booked a venue where many employees of the company could attend, and were quite busy. We managed to finish the funeral arrangements and were ready for the day. My husband and I arrived early at the funeral hall and helped with the reception and setup. At that time, my mother-in-law suddenly came up to me and said,
Thanks for all your hard work, now pack your stuff and get out of my house.
Excuse me? I didn't understand what she was saying. Well, what do you mean?
So, I mean you're done with me. His care is over after his death, so that means you're no longer related to us.
Well.
Duh, are you with me? You are not needed at this funeral. Leave your condolence money here and go home now, stranger.
She tried to kick me out of his funeral saying it. How hard does she think I've worked to take care of my father-in-law? He treated me as family, and I even cared for him as if he were my own father. In that time, my husband said something I never thought he would say.
Well, you're right. Get the hell out of my life, stranger.
Pardon? I couldn't believe my ears. Even my husband had treated me as an obstacle. I thought he was the only one on my side. I was too shocked to say anything back. Okay. I said that and was about to leave. She was looking at me with a grin. But he had more to say.
What I mean by stranger is, you, Mom.
What do you mean?
That means I'm cutting ties with you, Mom. I told my father about it, and Maya is the only family I have. You're not related to us.
Wait, what are you suddenly talking about?
I know you've been always thinking about yourself. Also, no matter how much I tried to talk to you, your attitude towards Maya never changed, and you spent all the money Dad earned. He was disgusted with you, Mom. So he said he didn't want you to attend the funeral.
No way, I'm gonna get the inheritance anyway.
What the heck? Instead of being sad that you can't attend the funeral, the first thing that comes up is about his inheritance.
I'm entitled to it, of course.
I'm afraid that Dad said he's going to disinherit you. He said he wrote that in his will.
Are you kidding me? This inheritance. There's no way he can do that.
You are subject to disinheritance, Mom, for spending his money all these years without caring for him. On top of that, you had an affair in the past and stabbed him in the back, didn't you? It seems you humbly begged for his forgiveness and got him to forgive you. But I don't think you can complain about disinheritance because you did things that made it impossible for you guys to carry on an honest married life.
She turned pale.
I've had enough of you, too, Mom. This is an important place to hold my father's funeral. We won't talk about inheritance or anything today, so please leave right now.
But.
Just get out.
Ack.
She was startled and frightened by my husband's angry voice and left. Then we were able to hold my father-in-law's funeral without her. After that, the lawyer told me the contents of my father-in-law's will. My husband was to inherit everything. My husband and I got rid of my mother-in-law, sold their house and moved to a new house. We completely cut her off and never told her where we lived. So we'll never see her again. According to our relatives, she rented a cheap room that could be rented by people without a job. She has never worked in her life, and there are no good jobs for her, and has to work part-time for minimum wage, which is hard on her both physically and mentally. She is a terrible spender, and the money from her part-time job is not enough, and she is repeatedly borrowing money apparently. In just a few months, she has apparently run up more debts than she can repay. But we've already cut ties, so that's none of our business. It's all her own fault. Meanwhile, my husband and I are living happily in our new home. Just recently, I got pregnant. I'm making the most of my time, being excited with my dearest husband to have a baby. What did you think of this story? Please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.